Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Um, my name is Alexa. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at WellSaid. I'm going to give it a couple minutes here to let people join. And while we wait, we would love to hear from you all. So please type your name into the chat, where you're calling in from, your favorite WellSaid voice, whatever you feel like sharing today. We're so excited that you're here with us. While you're all typing into the chat, I will talk through our agenda for today. So we'll kick things off with CJ, our CPTO, who will set the stage for all the exciting features and improvements that we're announcing. We'll then hear from Ryan, our machine learning product lead, about the quality improvements made in this release, and we'll get to hear some live samples of those as well. I can't wait. Next, we'll get into the improvements of Studio that makes it a faster, smarter workflow and with even more control, and the latest enterprise features, all from Christine, our Director of Product Management. And lastly, our product manager, Jen, will share about our AI safety and security practices, new languages and dialects, and our exciting insights dashboard that's coming soon. And we'll then wrap things up with CJ, who will share more about what's coming next. So we'll be using the Q&A feature in Zoom today for any questions that come up throughout. So please feel free to post those there. We will have our fabulous support team monitoring the chat and the Q&A component as well. And then at the end, we'll have designated time for Q&A. Hello, Brittany from Virginia, Ben from Seattle, Maui from Bellevue. Thank you all for joining. Fiona and Alan are some favorite voices. So exciting to see all this. So thank you all for joining and participating. I do think we have critical mass here. So again, welcome everyone to WellSaid's launch of the new studio, faster, smarter, and enterprise ready. I will hand it over to CJ.
All right, thank you. And good morning, everyone. Thank you all very much for joining us for this very exciting moment. We're at a turning point. Organizations today are producing more content than ever, including training modules, compliance programs, customer communications, and global campaigns. And the pace of creation just keeps accelerating. But here's the challenge. Voice is still the last mile. For too long, teams have had to choose between speed and quality. You either work with expensive agencies that take weeks to deliver, or you settle for synthetic voices that sound robotic, inconsistent, or just off-brand. And then there's security and trust. Too many AI tools today rely on open source models that lack data control, don't offer commercial IP rights, and may even train on your own data. And that's just not good enough for businesses. Organizations today need a voice that is human quality, so employees and customers stay engaged. Controllable to get the exact performance that you need. You need it to be trusted so that your data and your brand stay protected. And finally, it all needs to be scalable, so you can create thousands of assets without breaking budgets or timelines. And that's exactly what today's launch is all about. The new WellSaid Studio is built for today's enterprise reality, where quality, control, trust, and scale all matter together. We'll show you today how it all comes to life in the new studio. And we could not be more excited to share the great new features that our team has been busy working on. So with that, let me hand it over to Christine, our Director of Product Management, to take you through all the great new capabilities that we're launching today. Christine?
Thanks, CJ. Yeah, we're really excited to share what's next for WellSaid and how we've taken everything you already love about our product and made it faster, simpler, and more powerful. With this update, you'll notice right away how much more natural and expressive the voices sound in Caruso. They flow more smoothly and capture better emotion and deliver that real human feel on the first try. The studio itself has been completely reimagined. It's cleaner, quicker, and built for scale. Whether you're producing one clip or hundreds, everything flows more naturally from start to finish. We've also raised the bar on sound quality. So Studio now supports ultra high fidelity audio up to 96 kilohertz, giving you crystal clear output that's unmatched anywhere else in AI voice. All of these updates come back to one goal: giving you professional quality, enterprise secure voiceovers in seconds with more control, more creativity, and more speed than ever before. This is the new studio built for teams who expect the best and want the tools to move fast. Now I'll pass it to Ryan, our machine learning product lead, who will walk us through the updates to the model.
Thank you, Christine. Hello, it's great to be with everyone today. I am excited to talk about Caruso's latest advancements in speech quality and accuracy. The machine learning team has been iterating over Caruso improvements all summer, and the few I want to highlight today include speech, pronunciation, and clarity. In a few minutes, we're going to listen to some samples together from the latest model and to demonstrate everything we're talking about. But first, I wanted to give you a sense of what we're listening for. The voices you'll hear today deliver the most engaging and natural sound we've ever produced at WellSaid. They speak with smoother delivery, more expressive intonation, and crisp articulation, all while keeping that natural, knowledgeable tone. We believe your content should speak for itself, right? And your audience shouldn't be distracted by muffled or flat speech. And so one clear example of this improvement is how naturally the voices handle questions, a big ask from our customers. It's subtle, but it makes a big difference in keeping listeners engaged. This launch also brings our most accurate pronunciations with curated coverage across domains like healthcare, legal, aviation, transportation, industrial, just to name a few, all powered by our partnership with Oxford Languages, of course. You'll hear the voices pronounce some challenging industry terms effortlessly. And for words that don't exist in the Oxford Dictionary, don't forget smart suggestions. This tool offers respelling options for things like brand names and internal lingo so that you don't have to guess those syllables yourself. And finally, pay attention to the audio clarity of these samples. Notice how the voices sound more open and resonant, no more muffled and muted tones. You get clean, crisp sound that feels like true studio quality. We're focused on helping you get perfect audio into your projects faster with fewer takes and less time spent fine-tuning. So let's give it a listen. First, we're going to hear from Kai. I saw a few of you in the chat saying Kai was your favorite voice. I like him as well. And this clip comes from an onboarding seminar for new nurses joining a surgery floor. Listen for how resonant his delivery is and how naturally he handles these medical terms.
Ensure proper pneumoperitoneum pressure settings during laparoscopic procedures to prevent complications such as subcutaneous emphysema or cardiovascular compromise.
You can imagine how much easier it is to keep training content up to date on their floor and keep nurses engaged when the voices sound this natural and accurate, even with such dense material. Next up is Jordan, who's helping train a team of aircraft engineers. And this sample is particularly impressive because the sentence is long, it's grammatically complex, but she delivers it so smoothly. And listen for that question at the end.
Did you properly lock wire all castellated nuts and bolts on the flight control assemblies to prevent loosening from vibration during flight operations?
Can we hear it one more time, Alexa, just to make sure we hear everything smooth start to finish?
Did you properly lock wire all castellated nuts and bolts on the flight control assemblies to prevent loosening from vibration during flight operations?
So I love her inflection at the end. She turns this technical question into a real call to action, keeping the tone clear and professional. Great. We're going to listen to Rain next and notice how they instinctively know when to pronounce an acronym as a word and when to spell it out. And listen to the rhythm of these acronyms as well.
Due to HIPAA regulations, the university's health center cannot disclose any medical information, even when a student's CWID is provided. Use a generic ID such as HTGR-ECC to work in demo mode.
So no more stumbling over those letters. W is a really tricky letter to say, and Rain says it with ease. And again, the rhythm of those acronyms is so natural, whether it's a short initialism or a lengthy one. Rain says it just like you would in a conversation. And finally, we'll hear from Cameron. Long, complex text has always been tricky for AI voices to deliver with consistent energy from start to finish. But in this clip, Cameron keeps it strong and steady all the way through.
While most analytics tools require manual data exports, a process that typically takes 15 to 20 minutes, our solution offers instant CSV downloads, API access, and scheduled reports. Moreover, all data is encrypted both in transit and at rest.
So you can hear how naturally the voice handles technical language, something that's always been difficult to get right. And even with the asides and parenthetical statements, etc., Cameron just delivers it the same way a voice actor would. I won't make you sit through a full 10-minute sample, but I'd encourage you to test it out with your own more complex content today. And before I hand things back to Christine, there's one last feature I want to highlight, and it's a big one. It's the ability to deliver audio at 48 and 96 kilohertz. This level of detail is a game changer for anyone producing ads, training modules, or any content where premium sound matters. You'll hear a fuller, richer tone that holds up beautifully in any playback environment. And the best part is all of this is live right now in studio and through the API, and even in the free trial. So back over to Christine.
Thanks, Ryan. So now that you've heard what the new Caruso model can do, let's see how it comes together in the new studio experience. So the new studio is built around what we call a script first setup. So the script first setup really changes how you work. Because your script is always visible, you stay focused on the message you're creating, not just the mechanics of editing. It feels more like writing and directing in the same space instead of jumping back and forth between tabs or clips. Now you can upload a script. This feature really helps streamlining your workflow. So whether it's a short ad or a longer training module, Studio can break your script into sections so you can focus on one part at a time. It keeps your project organized and makes collaboration easier. So you can edit, you can add cues, you can assign different voices without scrolling endlessly through your text. And now you get unlimited takes, so you can render as many versions as you need until it feels right without cluttering your workspace. It gives you the same kind of creative flexibility you'd have working with a real voice actor, just faster and easier. Now everything happens in one screen within your project. Your scripts, clips, renders, and comments, they all stay together, so no more jumping between views or losing context. The sidebar updates dynamically as you move through your work, so you can switch sections, compare takes, or change voices with just a few clicks. It's faster, cleaner. It keeps you focused on creating, not navigating. Our goal is to make production feel seamless, giving you a single intuitive space where you can create without friction. Okay, so let's do a quick demo. To access the new experience, I'll start a new project and call this one training demo. Training demo. I'll pick Caruso as our model and choose create project. I've already got a few team voices saved, which makes it really easy to stay consistent across projects, especially when I'm working on a team. So for this demo, I'm going to pick Celine, who's my favorite. And now here we are in the new Studio UI. So it might look a little familiar at first glance, but once you start working in it, you'll feel how much faster and intuitive and fluid things are. And one of my favorite upgrades here are sections. So instead of hiding your text inside individual clips, you can now see and edit your entire script at all times right here in one continuous view. You can move between these sections instantly, make edits without opening and closing things, and just stay in your creative flow. This is a big game changer for longer scripts like training content or narrations, but also great for shorter pieces. So if you're working on quick edits or testing alternative reads or applying cues to just a few lines, you can do it in one view without breaking your rhythm. Let's try out importing our script. So I'm going to go import script, and this is really an exciting part of the new studio. I can upload a PDF, a doc, or a text file, or even paste a public link if your script lives online somewhere. So I'll go ahead and choose my file and show that in this particular file, I have 4 paragraphs here, basically 1 per slide in my training content. So I'm going to choose this and import. So this really gives me flexibility. I can split it by sentence, by paragraph, or keep it as a single section. So for this demo, I'll choose split by paragraph. So each paragraph is now its own section. My 4 sections are instantly ready to go. The great thing about this is each section is editable. So I can come up here and rename this slide 1. I can listen to generate this file.
Welcome back to Zirva Safety.
I can select individual sections to take action on just those sections, like download or delete. I can add cues to the section, or I can change the avatar really easily. So already I've gone from file upload to fully structured script in under a minute. One of my other favorite parts of this new studio is how it captures every take you render. Each time you render a new version, it's saved in your take history. So you can compare, I've changed this to Aaron. Let's listen to his.
Welcome back to Zyra.
So this makes it easy to compare different performances, switch between these versions instantly, and go back to an earlier take at any time. So if I preferred the Celine version, go back and choose that, and it's replaced in my script. This is great for creative exploration because you can play around with cues, tone, and pacing as much as you want. You can still see your script on the page, but you know every variation is saved and easy to restore. So this workflow will save you a ton of time if you're creating multiple clips or training modules. Before you close your project, make sure to generate each section, and then you can download these in bulk, which is another big speed win for the studio. Coming soon, you'll be able to render all of these sections at once and use global playback to hear your entire project flow seamlessly from start to finish. So we'll give you a sneak peek of that at the end of the session. So stay tuned to the end to see how that might work. We'd love your first impressions, so feel free to share in the chat, and we'll. Great. Looks like everyone's as excited as we are. So now that you've seen a quick and easy way to set up your script in the studio and produce great sounding audio, let's look at what really sets this new experience apart. It's the enhanced controls that give you even more creative flexibility and precision. So everything you need to shape pronunciation, pacing, and tone is built into the editor. One of the biggest requests we've heard from customers is wanting more direct control over how your projects sound. So with this release, you're truly in the director's chair. You can make a quick target edit at the word or phrase level and re-render only what you need. So no more waiting for full re-renders. It keeps things fast and focused so you can stay in your creative flow. We've also added emotional presets that make it easy to capture the right tone, whether you're going for warm, confident, or high energy. And if you want to fine tune that, you still have full control over pitch, pace, pauses, and loudness to match your exact vision. Everything happens right in the same window. So now you can edit your script, apply cues, see all the changes, update instantly. The new dynamic sidebar reacts to what you're working on, so it always feels connected and intuitive. If your projects include multiple speakers, you can now assign different voices per section for more natural dialogue, or swap a voice across your entire script with one click. And the new smart toolbar, sorry, that's hard to say, takes pronunciation to another level. It includes over 200,000 English words with both US and UK pronunciations through our Oxford Languages integration. Plus, smart suggestions automatically generate phonetic spellings for tricky words like brand names, acronyms, stuff that might trip you up. And the best part, these enhanced controls are not limited to Studio. They're available in the API and even in the free trial. So anyone can start creating with professional level accuracy right away. Okay, let's go to our second demo here and take a look at the tools that help you control the performance you're looking for. So now I'm back in my project where I have my 4 sections. And as I review, I notice the word, the voice is pronouncing Zyrava a little off. And that's expected because it's my brand name and it has a really specific pronunciation. So to fix this, I can double click or highlight the word to open that replacement toolbar. And see, there's no replacement yet in my library or the dictionary plugin. Since Zyrava isn't a real word, I can use smart suggestions to generate phonetic options. So here we go. Let's listen to some samples.
Zyrava. Zyrava. Zyrava.
Yeah, so it got it right with the second one. So I'll replace it with a click. As I've mentioned, these suggestions are AI-powered pronunciation tools that handle tricky words like brand names or acronyms or borrowed terms that might not exist in your dictionary. We already have over 200,000 English words built in, but these smart suggestions fill in the gaps. So I use this word pretty often in my script, so I'm going to save it as a custom replacement in my team library. That means the pronunciation will apply everywhere in my script. And once I go ahead and save this to my team library, you'll see it there in bold throughout my script. So no more hunting it down later or replacing it. It's really convenient for future projects. Now let's talk about voice assignments. If you're working with dialogue or multi-speaker content, you can easily assign different voices to each section. So for example, if I want to alternate between voices, I can keep the first and the third section as Celine, for example, and maybe I want to switch this second section, and I'll just pick section 2 and I'll highlight section 4. Maybe I want to change these to Tobin. Let's find Tobin in my team voices. There he is. So now Tobin's replaced. It makes it super simple to swap voices and audition these combinations really quickly. And if I change my mind and want to use the same voice for all of them, I can select all and choose the voice in the sidebar, and Celine is now the voice of all of these sections across my whole script. If you need to make script changes on the fly, let's say your teammate adds an additional slide to the middle of your presentation, you can do that easily as well. Just click Add Section where you want it, put in your new content here. I'm going to go type in some new content, and it appears right in line with the rest of my script. So everything stays visible and editable. It's like a Google Doc or a Word document, and now the text is not hidden, and you don't have complicated clip lists to manage. So let's talk a little bit about cues. This is where you control the performance just as you would a voice actor. You can access cues from the Cues button or by highlighting the text with your cursor. So cues lets you adjust pace, pitch, and loudness, or you can use our new emotional presets to instantly add tone and feeling to an entire section. Let's say I want Celine to sound a little more excited. I can highlight my text or use that button, click excited, and you see that it automatically adjusts pace, pitch, and loudness for the right energy boost. Let's go ahead and render this and take a listen at what it sounds like when there we go.
Skilled technicians are consistent. They speak up, slow down, and double check. Use the buddy system.
Okay, that might have been a little too energetic for my training module, so I can fine tune it slightly by lowering the settings to make it sound a little more natural. Let's go ahead and set this down slightly and re-render to here.
Skilled technicians are consistent. They speak up, slow down, and double check.
So that's much better. It sounds natural, but it's still upbeat. And remember, every single version you create is saved in your take history. So every version is saved automatically. I can switch between these takes. I can listen side by side. I can choose the one I like best. So you have unlimited takes. Feel free to play around. I can even download directly from this take history by opening the menu or from the section toolbar. It's best practice to choose the one that you like the most by clicking Use this take. That way it will be replaced here in your script. See, now I've gone back to my first take. Let's try one more emotional preset. I like secretive. Let's see how that sounds.
Skilled technicians are consistent. They speak up, slow down, and double check. Use
Okay, that's a little mysterious. I really hear a difference in her delivery. I can also isolate part of a sentence and apply a cue just to that one phrase. So in this example, maybe I want skilled technicians are consistent to really stand out. I can make that a little bit louder for just that portion. Let's hear how that sounds.
skilled technicians are consistent. They speak up, slow down, and double check.
Great. So that's the power of this enhanced control in the studio. You can shape every moment, every sentence of your voiceover until it sounds exactly the way that you imagine it. So we'd love to hear how you might use emotional presets. If there are others you'd like, feel free to throw that in the chat. We'd love to learn more. So now that we've taken a look at the studio in action, you can see how much faster and flexible it is. So from uploading scripts to editing and rendering, everything's really designed to make your content creation feel effortless. But let's zoom out a bit, because a lot of our customers, it's not just one person creating content, it's your whole team, often across different departments or even regions. And that's where our enterprise level tools come in. We've built Studio and API to scale, giving teams shared voice libraries, secure collaboration, and controls you need to manage your content at volume. So next I'll walk through how we support enterprise workflows, things like permissions, SSO, centralized management, all designed to help organizations move fast without sacrificing control. So let's talk about collaboration, because when you're creating content at scale, it's never just you alone in the studio. You've got producers, reviewers, SMEs, all touching the same project. That's exactly why we've built the collaborator role. This new role can have collaborators log in, view projects, they can leave comments, they can suggest changes, all without editing published content or affecting voice settings. It gives reviewers and stakeholders an easy way to stay involved and provide feedback without changing any project content. For larger teams, this changes everything. No more passing files around or losing track of versions. Everyone's working in one place, seeing the same project and giving feedback in context, which helps reviews go much faster and keeps communication clear. With clip level commenting, feedback is even more precise. So teammates can comment directly on the script, tag others, or you can leave yourself notes. So reviews become quick, more fast, and nothing gets lost in translation. So ultimately, this helps enterprise teams work efficiently, connected, organized, and confident that everyone's working from the same source of truth. So this role is available today for our business and enterprise customers. If your team wants to try it out, please reach out to our support team. And now let's talk about workspaces. Everything in Studio happens inside of a workspace. So think of this workspace as your team's dedicated home base. All of your projects are organized and secure in one place. It keeps things structured by department, client, or use case, so big organizations can stay organized while still collaborating easily. Each workspace has its own members and permissions, so your marketing team can work independently from your training team, for example, or regional teams can have their own space without overlap. This is built for flexibility, but with enterprise level control. And speaking of control, let's talk about SSO, or single sign-on. I don't know about you guys, but I really hate keeping track of a million passwords. But with SSO, enterprise users just log in with your existing company credentials. So you don't have to have a new account or extra passwords. It's faster for users. It's more secure for IT because access is managed centrally through your identity provider. So together, Workspaces and SSO gives teams the structure and security you need to move fast, collaborate confidently, and know that everything is managed safely and consistently. These features are part of our enterprise plan, so please reach out if you're interested and would like to learn more. Now I'm going to hand it over to Jen, our product manager on the enterprise platform, who will tell us a bit about our security and compliance and what comes next.
Great. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, now let's talk about something that's especially important for enterprise customers, trust and governance. Every file you create in Studio comes with clear commercial rights. So you always know exactly how you can use your content. And whether it's a marketing campaign, an e-learning module, or internal training, you fully own that output that you generate. And beyond that, the entire platform is built for enterprise-grade security and compliance. We're SOC 2 and GDPR compliant, which means we meet rigorous standards for data protection, access control, and privacy. In addition, our closed model architecture ensures your data never leaves our environment. So it's never used to train internal or external models, and it's always handled with the highest level of protection as well. And our governance framework is already designed to align with the expectations of the EU AI Act, so customers can adopt WellSaid globally with total confidence. So we don't just help you create great content, we want to make sure you can do it securely, responsibly, and with complete peace of mind. And as part of our commitment to transparency, we're also introducing the Enterprise Insights Dashboard. This dashboard is meant to give enterprise teams a clear, reliable view of how WellSaid is being used across the organization. So things like license activity, usage trends, and even cost savings over time. So it's all about making data accessible, trustworthy. So no more manual reports, no waiting on someone to pull numbers, just real-time insights you can use to plan your renewals or track adoption and show value to your stakeholders. So ultimately, this is just about giving teams more visibility and confidence in how WellSaid supports their business, also helping you measure impact, manage spend, and also make smarter decisions. So this will be coming soon to enterprise admins. Great. Now, we've also been really busy expanding our platform for a global audience. So as more of our customers create content across different regions and industries, we're making sure WellSaid stays ahead, not just by adding new languages and voices, but by giving teams more ways to deliver content at scale. And expanding global language support is key to making that possible. So we've recently added 36 new voices across Arabic, Turkish, and Persian, covering 18 regional dialects. This gives teams the flexibility to create content that feels local and authentic, whether for marketing, training, or customer support. And we're continuing to expand as well. So coming soon, you'll hear even more voices in European languages like Dutch, Czech, Danish, Polish, and Swedish, along with tools that make localization even smoother, which includes language support for closed captions, importing scripts, and studio cues control for Spanish, French, and German voices, so that teams can fine-tune delivery and emotion across multiple languages. So all of this builds on our continued push to expand global language support, making it easier than ever to deliver localized and professional quality voiceovers, all without needing to hire that additional talent. And for more on what's coming up next, I'm going to hand it back to Christine.
Oh, thanks, Jen. So everything we've shown so far will be available in Studio this week. I see there's some questions around the new Studio UI. So that would be available later this week. So keep an eye out for that. But we're definitely not stopping there. We're already working on the next wave of updates to make Studio even faster, smarter, and more intuitive. So I want to give you all a sneak peek at what's coming next and what features we'll be rolling out soon. So first, we're focused on multi-speaker enhancement. This one's a really big deal for anyone creating multilingual content, podcasts, or any training scenarios with multiple voices. So you'll soon be able to assign and manage speakers more easily within the same project, making it much simpler to produce natural, dynamic conversations that flow seamlessly. And we're also expanding on pronunciation tools. So we're adding auto formatting for things like dates or numbers, abbreviations, things that are a little tricky, so they sound right automatically with no extra editing that's needed. We're also introducing new tools like emphasis, which lets you control how keywords or phrases are delivered. So this is great for fine-tuning tone or guiding focus in a sentence, just like you would direct a real voice actor. And then finally, more performance control. So this is where things start to feel really expressive. We're adding new functionality like variability, which adjusts the creative delivery and breath, which adds subtle realism and warmth. So these smaller details make a big difference bringing your audio to life. It gives it a natural flow, it adds emotion and a lot of presence. So all of these updates build on the same foundation to help you create faster with more precision while getting even closer to that perfect natural sounding read. Okay, our final demo. Let's see. We have first up is performance variability. So this is our new cue. And we know a lot of you like to regenerate clips to get slightly different takes from the voice. Sometimes you want things to sound subtle, and other times you want a fresh new delivery of the section. So with this cue, you're in control. You can set the performance to be very consistent to wildly different, giving you a range of creative
Welcome to
options.
Xyropa Safety Essentials. Every shift begins with 3 steps: prepare, power down, and protect. Prepare your workspace by clearing hazards and confirming PPE.
Yeah, so this, I wanted noticeable changes in the delivery. And so I heard it sounds very different than her normal delivery. And next, we're introducing global rendering and playback. So this one's a big time saver, especially for long scripts with multiple sections. You'll see a timeline view across the bottom of the studio where each section is represented on a timeline. So you'll be able to play everything straight through with a global playback button. And it works well for dialogue projects or longer form scripts. It gives you a real sense of how your content flows from start to finish across sections. So playback will move seamlessly from that one section to the next, and it feels like a smooth, continuous read. We'll also add word highlighting, so as the audio plays, you'll be able to follow along and see exactly where you are in the script. That's helpful for longer projects, so you don't have to scroll and wonder kind of where you are. Let's see
Welcome
this
to
in
Xyropa
action.
Safety Essentials. Every shift begins with 3 steps: prepare, power down, and protect. Prepare your workspace by clearing hazards and confirming PPE.
Power down equipment with the posted checklist and confirm full stop. Protect your team. Tag the device and verify the lockout with a buddy check. With practice, these habits become second nature, building a safer workplace every day.
Yeah, so you can hear it just flow automatically. Let's show a few of our new creative tools. So we've added emphasis. If I click on a word, I can pull up the toolbar has this add emphasis button. It makes any word or phrase stand out with just a click. So if you want a line to hit a little harder or a keyword to pop just a little bit more, you can use that. There's also a shortcut in the toolbar called Rewrite for Speech, which helps with those tricky pronunciations for things like phone numbers or acronyms, reference numbers. You can get those right with one click. Finally, we'll introduce intuitive playback. Let me introduce that idea. If I make a quick edit to my script, I can place my cursor right where I want it to play back and press play.
With practice, these habits become second nature, building a safer workplace every day.
So I've made that quick edit to my script, and now I place my cursor where I want it to start from, and it knows exactly where I am. So it starts from that word and plays forward. I don't have to re-listen to my entire script, so this will be a big time saver when you're making a lot of edits. So those are just a few of the exciting updates coming soon, designed to make it smarter and more fun to create with. So again, let us know your feedback in the chat. Everything we're building is made to make your creative process even better. I'll pass it off to CJ to wrap us up.
All right, thank you, Christine. Our customers asked for a voice solution that's intuitive, ultra high quality, and fast. And that's exactly what we've delivered with the new studio experience, all powered by the new Caruso voice model. These improvements span all the way from the voice model itself, where we've enhanced prosody, pronunciation, and accuracy, through to the content creation workflow, which is now faster, simpler, and more scalable than ever before. You'll also notice new high-fidelity audio options up to 96 and 48 kilohertz to match the professional audio standards that our customers rely on every day. At WellSaid, our mission is simple: to give every organization the power to produce professional quality voiceovers in seconds, with commercial rights and the data protection you can trust. We couldn't be more thrilled to roll out these exciting new capabilities starting this week for all of our WellSaid customers. Thank you so much for coming today, and I think we're going to hand it back to Alexa and open up for some Q&A now. Alexa.
Thank you, CJ. And yeah, thank you, Christine, Ryan, and Jen for sharing all the exciting things that you guys have been working so hard on. Yeah, let's jump right into the questions that have been coming in. And thank you guys all so much for participating so much in the chat and the Q&A. If you do continue to have any questions that or have not shared any yet, please feel free to drop them into the chat in the Q&A feature here on Zoom. But yeah, so the first one that came in, how do you train your voices? Do you use any open source voice data? I think, Ryan, I'll hand that one over to you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Alexa. It's a great question. It's one we get a lot. Since the beginning of WellSaid, we've prided ourselves on the partnership we have with our voice actors. So I'm really happy to reiterate the fact that our voices are trained using professionally recorded data from paid voice actors, right? Every actor gives full consent. They're compensated for their work. And moreover, we never train on customer input ever. That's a core part of our closed model architecture and what makes WellSaid trusted by so many teams. So I hope that clarifies things.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then Ryan, I actually think I got another one for you here. How has the Caruso model improved? This person said, I've used it once before and it had issues. Is it better now? Can you explain more about that?
Okay, great question. Yes. And I actually saw a similar question earlier. If the text on the screen is the same text that was used, or if there was like smoke and mirrors. The text on the screen when I played those samples is exactly the text that was used to make those samples. So that's already demonstrating a really clear improvement from standard. I didn't have to use any workarounds, any spelling help, any consonant hacks to get that crisp articulation, right? That was straight out of the box. A new version was just released last Friday. So if you have used it before, keep in mind, we kept improving it all summer long. We didn't always make an announcement. We've just been trying to improve that clarity and accuracy and everything I presented today, little by little. That's why it's been in beta mode. But we're really proud of the most recent release that just went out on Friday. So please, even if you used it before, do try again. Try it again in the new workflow coming out later this week, because everything is just going to speed up now that this new model is built with such engaging intonation and accurate pronunciation in mind, right?
Thank you, Ryan. Okay. A question for me. Will Alexa's voice be one that we can soon choose from in studio? She's got a great voice for narration. Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm not sure if I agree that I hate listening to myself on recordings. So I will be cringing when I'm watching this video later. TBD is the answer. We'll certainly think about it. I think I already get enough of a hard time being Alexa living in Seattle and working at an AI voice company. So we'll see. We'll see. Question for Christine. Can we manually adjust the voice for emotion? Our organization develops caller conversation audio, and we would like to simulate a customer that's upset or frustrated, sad, or happy.
Yeah, my suggestion there is to use the presets, the emotional presets. So these will change the values of that pitch, pace, loudness to get a certain output. You can then go in and fine tune to get it to sound a little bit more, according to what you are looking for. So I believe we'll have stern, which might be pertinent to your use case if you're looking for something a little bit less upbeat. We understand that occasionally we'll need that. And then as always, please feed back into your use cases into our team. There's always that send feedback button that we have in the studio where we'll love to hear from you. This is our first set. We'd love to hear how you use it, if it's working for your use case. But that was the goal around the emotional presets, is they're a combination of cues that give you a certain output. And we understand it might be hard to figure that out on your own. So we have some starters there.
Thank you so much, Christine. So for CJ, for each feature that was discussed, could you please say upfront if it's also available in the API?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take that. So the vast majority of what you've seen here today will be available through our API. Although some of the features you saw in the Studio product are specific to editing the script in Studio itself rather than editing through an API. So things like 48 and 96 kilohertz are available through the API. The new Caruso model is available through the API. All of those sorts of features that will be applicable in an API scenario will be. And we continue to strive to deliver the same features that are available through Studio to our API customers as well. If you have specific questions, please get in touch with us. I'll be happy to direct you to the documentation that we're putting out around these new features for API. Great
Awesome.
question.
Thank you, CJ. Question for Jen. Will we be able to convert existing projects into the new model, or do we need to start from scratch as needed?
For now, we won't be migrating any of those projects. So if people continue to like using their previous projects as is, that's fine. But if you would like to use the new Caruso experience, we just recommend importing your script over to that new experience.
So easy now with the import scripts feature.
So easy.
Awesome. Okay, next question. Were the samples that we showed earlier, were they as written on screen? In other words, some voices that I've used struggle with some consonants, but you can usually get around that by adding another one of the same letter or respelling. Is that still something that we'll encounter from time to time? I don't know if Ryan or Christine, you want to take that?
Yeah, I could talk about the samples and the demos. So those are coming from the Caruso model with no real changes in there. I think the Zyrava, I demonstrated how we use the toolbar to get the right pronunciation because sometimes with words that are not familiar, the model can pronounce it in a way that they assume is correct, but might not be correct for my use case. So that's where some of those tools come really in handy when it's about emphasis on different syllables, in the case of Zyrava. I think that there will continue to be moments where the model doesn't get something correct. And what we're aiming to do is give you all tools that are really intuitive for those moments where it might not be correct. And those should be more of those words that are a bit more unfamiliar, for example. So I think potentially, yes, you would have you might run into an issue, and then the toolbar makes it very fast to get pronunciation correct. Your library does as well, smart suggestions. So there's a lot of nice tools that can help you.
And then Christine, can you just quickly recap the expected coming soon features? Are those like Q4, like later this year, Q1, like ballpark timing wise, when we should expect to see those coming soon?
Yeah, those are Q4 through Q1. So I would say through next year, you'll see continual optimization of this first experience. Yeah.
Amazing.
And please, again, I'll push the feedback button that we have in the studio. That goes directly to our product team. And all of that information is really, really helpful when we are going to think about, well, what do we need to do next? How do our customers use our product? What do they like? What do they need? What problems are we trying to solve for them? So don't hesitate to send us all of the feedback. That's a really helpful way for us to know what to build next.
Amazing. a question for Ryan, and I've seen this one come through as well a couple times. So the question is, I've had some issues with a pronunciation of an acronym. One time it'll say it the right way, the next time I render it, it says it differently, and it's not exactly how I want it to say it. Were there any improvements in this release with consistently pronouncing the words the same way?
Great question. Yes. So the two things here I should just reiterate is that Caruso is going to have more accurate pronunciation every time. So you're no longer going to be waiting to see if it guessed it right, even within the same sentence, right? It should have very accurate pronunciation this time. And secondly, anytime you do need to really ensure that like Zyrava or something that you want consistently pronounced the right way, save it in your replacements library, make sure it's saved and reused everywhere. That's like the fastest way to ensure that. But Crusoe out of the box, already more accurate pronunciation, so you shouldn't have to worry.
Okay, this one's fun.
I'll interrupt and just say I didn't quite demo it in this demo, but there will be a toggle in this new experience to access your libraries very quickly. So I think currently it's you open it up and change your settings. So we're kind of trying to pull everything right into your project view where you can make those controls really easy. So if you do, you can turn on and off your library more easily now. So we didn't quite demo that, but it's a new little feature improvement we hope will make your lives easier.
Thank you. That sounds good. So for CJ, I'm loving these updates. This is from I am as well, but this is from the person who put it in the chat. I prefer WellSaid because of its ease of use. Have you done any updates to voices? I work with the quote unquote character type of voices, such as the Old West Cowboy one. Also any updates regarding like voice cloning and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So for Caruso, as it stands today, we've strived to bring all of our existing voice catalog across. There are a few that you'll notice that are missing that we're aiming to do additional releases on soon. But the idea is so that you can move to the new AI model that we wanted all of the voices that you've known to come and love for Caruso. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, though, bringing new voices. We're always working on where we go next, what different styles you would like and things. There is a button in Studio to submit a suggestion to us on maybe a different accent or a different dialect or a different language or different style to us. We love getting those and hearing what you'd like to see next in Studio as well. And so stay tuned for more on that. We're consistently evolving our voice roadmap, and we'll be releasing new voices on Caruso, over the coming months and going forward as well. So lots to be excited about there.
Thank you, CJ. Christine, I think this might be a good one for you. Is there a feature, or could there be a feature where I could record how I would like to have it read, a specific word or phrase? Sometimes the emphasis, doesn't get it exactly how I want it. So is that something that might be coming soon, or?
Yeah, this is a highly requested feature for sure, and something that we have on our roadmap. So this idea where maybe these you've tried these tools, I would suggest in the meantime, the pronunciation dictionary does give a lot of options, especially when it comes to word level emphasis. So if you have, especially between US and UK avatars, sometimes the emphasis is on the other syllable. However, we do understand there's kind of that intonation throughout that it would be great if you could just say, hey, say it like me. So that's on the roadmap. I don't have a specific date for that, but please, we'll keep you all in the loop when that comes out. It's a highly requested feature.
Awesome, thank you. And then I think we probably have time for one more question here. And so for the rest of the questions, I know we had lots and lots come in. We didn't get to all of them. We will certainly do our best to follow up with you if we have your information. But for this last question, maybe CJ, if you could help us out, do you mind sharing a little bit more about what will be available today and now, and then what's going to be coming available later this week?
Yeah, no problem at all. I guess the first thing I'll start with is that Ryan mentioned is that we've been updating the Caruso model all through the summer. So we've done additional iterations of that. That is live now. You can go and try that out in Studio. And then later this week, we'll launch the entire new Studio editing experience for new Caruso projects, like you saw in the demos from the team today. And so stay tuned for that a little later this week. It will be this week. And the way to try that out will be to go create new Caruso projects, and you'll get that new editing experience. So we'd love to hear what you think about that. Please get in touch with any feedback, and yeah, stay tuned a little later this week for the exciting new features launching for all WellSaid customers.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our panelists for all of the hard work and getting all these features built, and then all of the hard work practicing and making sure that today went super smoothly. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much. And most importantly, thank you all for joining and listening. We love to have you in our corner, and we are so appreciative of your time and your commitment to contributing and sharing with us what works and what could be better. We do it for you guys, and we really love to hear your feedback. So thank you so much for your continued support. We will save this recording and we'll post it, I think, on our YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go back and reference it later, we'll have that there. And yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. Thank you so much, everyone.